A new societal system is being constructed before our eyes. Envisage a world where the pillars of masculinity are stripped bare and brought down from its lofty heights. The traditional notions of a man are being transmuted into irrational docility. Such a male is no longer protective, competitive, or even assertive. Instead, he is a shell of his former self, easily altered by outside influences. Dictators could only dream of such mouldable soft men, while governments of today skip with insuppressible glee. Hello fellow conspirators, and welcome to our channel, Conspiring Conspirators. Today, I, Shadow Knight, will be your host. Subscribe and share if you haven't. Enjoy! Ancient Rome, 140 BC. Imagine you are interviewing a citizen of the Roman Republic. I don't know about you guys, but I would be interested in what made Rome so great. A proud Roman would reply, virtues, especially the virtue dubbed virtus. Virtues, they believed, were the main thing that separated them from barbarians. The attitude prolonged Rome for a millennium, leading the empire to be dubbed imperium sine fine. I don't know how to speak Latin, but in English that means empire without end. What is this virtus, you ask? There is no simple definition of virtus, however I can relate connotations of the word. It carries connotation of valor, manliness, excellence, courage, character, and worth. In English, we have another word for virtues. It's called masculinity. In fact, the word itself derives from ver, which is Latin for man. Current-day conspiracists believe that the Western governments are pushing for a new type of male, a more compliant male, who does not safeguard his rights as a citizen. This is thought to be primarily done through public institutions, along with the media. The media especially pushes the narrative that men are the oppressors and women are the oppressed. General manliness, and thus masculinity, is frowned upon. For example, in 2016, at the advent of Donald Trump, the phrase toxic masculinity has begun to be tossed all around. It's not just that the media doesn't clearly draw a line between toxic masculinity and general masculinity, rather they combine the terms, making them inseparable. Masculinity itself is said to be extremely toxic. Men such as David Bowie are often praised in contemporary society, while others are demonized for following the traditional norms. Furthermore, in social media, men with historical traits are often portrayed negatively. Instead, more feminine men are lauded constantly. In current society, grandfather figures are often absent from a boy's life, while the father figure is busy working from dawn to dusk. This leaves a young boy to grow up in a woman-centric environment. His mother raises him throughout his childhood. Conspiracists argue that Western governments actually incentivize such systems. Single mothers are seen as revolutionary and gain more sympathy than the father of the children. However, this results in more effeminate men. The female heads of family may or may not be doing this intentionally. Regardless, the end result is the same. It doesn't get any better for boys in school. Primary education is pivotal in molding a young man's mindset. However, male role models in primary education are extremely limited. In fact, in Australia, only 18.24% of primary school teachers are male. Thus, female teachers are argued to subconsciously imprint a female mindset into boys at an early age. Essentially, the boys are argued to grow into quasi-females. Finally, conspiracists argue that masculinity is being counted in the workplace as well. The government uses its influence to alter how a company acts with respect to genders. Managers use the threat of firing a man to force his inner masculinity to be neutered. Recently, around 2,000 men and women were polled on the internet across 10 television regions for a survey commissioned by D-Max. D-Max is an entertainment channel from Discovery Networks. Men said that they felt handcuffed by political correctness, and only 33% felt that they could speak freely and say what they thought, whereas 2/3 found it safer to conceal their opinions. Therefore, the masculine trait of assertiveness is suppressed from birth till retirement. Essentially, conspiracists argue that men are being emasculated as it's seen as unproductive in all sectors of government, school, and workplaces. The counter-argument to this, however, is just as convincing. The accused actors argue that there is no masculinity crisis. Rather, there is only a rhetoric of crisis. This rhetoric is constantly touted so that men can reactivate the privileges promoted by male supremacists. Furthermore, the masculinity frequently referred to by conspiracists is often harmful to society as a whole. For instance, a partner who has the traditional mindset is likely harsher and prone to engage in stuff which break open a relationship. One activity is cheating on a partner. A man who sleeps with a lot of women is seen as macho, but this hardly helps any relationship. According to The Conversation, an online journalistic website, the myth of the emasculated male is just a form of gaslighting. Machismo stresses an ignorance of consequences and responsibility. What men want to do is what they want to do, but without the consequences. Basically, the bitch shouldn't nag outlook. Furthermore, the idealized version of a man doesn't work in the 21st century society, as it was only supported in the 19th century. Men need to get with the times. David Bowie did it, so all of us can as well. Okay, that was a heated argument. What we really want to know is how does this scale on the glorious con scale? If you don't know about this scale, then you can watch it in our previous awesome video made by me, Shadow Knight, on how you might be slowly dying off fluoride. Now that we are done with the self-advertising, let's get down and dirty. I think this conspiracy makes complete sense in the Y section. Actually, it's pretty darn straightforward. This conspiracy exists because the government, or even society as a whole, gets docile people who will do what any government tells them to do. So here's my overall mark section. So the Y section has a 7 out of 10. I would give the how section 6 out of 10. Support section a 4 out of 10. The argument section 5 out of 10. So that gives us an average of around 6 out of 10. So yeah, this is actually a pretty plausible as far as conspiracy theories go.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed our video. What do you think about this conspiracy? Do you agree with our scale? Discuss this in the comment section.